Hey guys, it's Sarah Schneider with NourishLife.org. If you are new to me, I am the founder of this group. I'm the admin, right? And I help mamas reset, heal, and nourish their bodies so that they can lose weight forever, right? Because that's what we really want. We don't want to be another fad diet where we're trying something and we lose a little, then gain a little, and all that jazz. Like that's what we want to end right now. So today I was talking to a friend, and she had mentioned that a couple of years ago she gave up soda, and after a few months she didn't see the results that she wanted to see, and she gave up and started drinking the soda again. Or maybe it's artificial sweeteners, or maybe it's you gave up gluten, but you didn't see all the results that you thought you were going to see. Maybe you were like, a little less bloated or a little bit more comfortable in your body, but you weren't seeing the massive transformation that you were really hoping for. And maybe you had a friend who they gave it up and they lost like 30 pounds or something, right? And it was a really big transformation, and you just didn't see that for yourself. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. What does that mean? And I always talk about this concept of discovering your nourishment blueprint, right? It's all about discovering the unique combination of food, the unique combination of healing, the limiting beliefs, and the psychological factors, and then just logistical needs. So it's really about understanding your nourishment blueprint, understanding which foods need to be included and excluded. But here's the deal. It's a comprehensive, hey, whoever hopped on, it's a comprehensive approach to it. You can't just give up one thing and then hope that everything changes, right? Sometimes it works. Sometimes it really does. I have a client who lost an extraordinary amount of weight by giving up corn, 45 pounds. And she did some other things too. She ate a lot of nourishing foods and things like that, but she gave up corn and she lost 45 pounds. So sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's just one food ingredient that is causing you to be uncomfortable. And sometimes it's a culmination. Sorry, my dog is like on the loose. Sometimes it's a culmination, and we have to figure out all the different pieces of it so that you can actually heal your gut. Because this is what happens. When let's say that you have 3 food sensitivities that need to be addressed, and you address one of them, but there's 2 more foods that you're still exposing yourself to, exposing your gut to on a regular basis that you didn't realize was also causing the issue, right? So if that's the case, if you've taken out, eliminated one of the foods that are causing you sensitivity, and you still have 2 more left, your gut is never going to have the chance to heal from that damage, right? And so you may see a little bit of progress, you may see a little bit of results, but it's not going to be enough for you to feel like it's something that made a big difference and you're going to want to keep with it, right? And that's the problem, is when we don't see the results, we don't want to stick with it, because like who wants to give up one of their favorite foods just because you want to see results? Now, if I told you if we eliminated corn and you lose 45 pounds, then you're on board, right? Something like that. Or if I say, what if we consider giving up gluten, and all of a sudden you feel amazing, and you went from going to the bathroom 8 times a day to going to the bathroom once a day, and you dropped 15 pounds, then yeah, you're going to want to stick with it. But that's the problem, is if there are other foods out there that are also causing you harm, damage to your gut, you're never going to have a gut that's healed enough for you to start seeing the results. And that's what has to happen. This is what has to happen. 2 weeks of healing, your gut can dramatically jumpstart, reset your body, and get you on a path to healing and losing weight. That's when we start seeing all the results, okay? So if you're in that in-between stage where you're trying to figure out which foods work for you and which foods don't work for you, and you're just uncertain, that's when you need to keep a food journal, okay? So if you think that maybe it's gluten, or you think that maybe it's corn, or eggs is a big one, or dairy, or whatever it is, and you eliminate it, and you're still not feeling that fantastic feeling, right? You're still not feeling great. Consider if there's another food that could be causing that damage as well, and consider what it would be like to eliminate that. And I'm telling you, once you figure out your unique combination, everything kind of falls into place. Once you have that, give that gut time to rest and heal. It takes about, sorry, someone's blowing up my phone. It takes about 2 weeks. Then you're going to start noticing a much more of a progress, right? And that's what I do with my Nourishment Blueprint program. We literally go through and we map out your plan for health and healing. And on top of that, we figure out which foods work for you and which foods don't, okay? So that's something that you guys can do. Granted, like if you need help and you want to do it with me, then fantastic, let's work together. But if that's something that you're just kind of dabbling in and you're not certain if that's like the right step for you, and you want to start doing something in the day to shift whatever it is that's not working for you, consider keeping a food journal and consider writing down symptoms and things like that. Today I was in another group and I talked all about inflammation, but I also mentioned about there are certain physical symptoms that you can see when you don't have, when you're having a food sensitivity. So let's just touch on those a little bit so that maybe that'll help jog your memory and think, oh yeah, I do have that. Maybe it is a food sensitivity, right? So if you're having any kind of skin issues, whether it's acne, especially hormonal acne along the jawline, right? For ladies, this is a big indicator that there is a food sensitivity. Usually it's dairy. I'll give you a little like ding, ding, ding. Usually it's dairy. Sometimes it's gluten. And sometimes it's just an in general hormone imbalance. And that's when we start having to like really look at what is going on in your diet so that we can help balance out the hormones, okay? So those are the 3 things that it could be. Also, eczema, psoriasis. If you have always kind of battled eczema, psoriasis, and you have flare-ups, when you are having a flare-up, consider what is happening right before and during that period of time. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's something in your diet. Because a lot of times when we're stressed, we deviate from foods that really nourish us to foods that are comforting and tend to be less nourishing, right? So maybe consider what that would look like for you. If you are, the big ones really honestly are the digestive upset, right? So if you are going to the bathroom 8 times a day, you have a food sensitivity. I don't know what it is yet, but you have one. If you are not going to the bathroom, if you are going to the bathroom once or twice a week, tops, and this has been like your whole life, you have a food sensitivity that you just didn't know about, right? Because it is not normal for you not to go on a daily basis. And I'll be really upfront and honest with you. That's what I struggled with the most, was I had IBS with constipation. So I had all these abdominal, discomfort and issues. And then on top of that, I couldn't go, which is even the worst feeling, is because it's just in your body, right? And then if you have any kind of gas, bloating, if you have a lot of gas and bloating, I would consider looking at dairy. I would consider looking at gluten, wheat, and also beans and nightshade. No, not necessarily nightshades, but beans. Yeah, beans can cause that kind of stuff too. So just really look at that and see how that can feel. But the bloating, the gas, that is all because of something that is not agreeing with you, right? And it could be something as simple as, this is what's really interesting, and I'm such a nerd because I get all like smiley about it, but this could also mean if you're having gas and bloating after having like cruciferous vegetables, so like broccoli, cauliflower, all those kind of things, you may have a sensitivity to just that group of foods, and those are gas producing foods. So it might not be a sensitivity that's actually damaging your intestinal lining, but it is enough of a discomfort where you can choose where you consume those foods so that you're not like, being all gassy at a restaurant. Maybe that's something that you eat at home by yourself, right? Because those foods are really good for eliminating toxins and things like that out of your body. So that's something to consider as well. If you are having or experiencing a lot of brain fog, so a lot of mental stuff, right? Forgetfulness, depression, like symptoms, just general irritability. If you are you know, snappy with your family, or you're just really reactive and you've always been a responsive person rather than a reactive person, this could be it. If you have ADD or ADHD type symptoms where you just can't seem to focus, right? This could be it. There's a lot of studies that show that it's either comes down to an omega-3 fatty acid deficiency or it comes down to a food sensitivity. Either way, it's great to nourish your body with omega-3 fatty acids because they reduce inflammation. But so it doesn't matter if it really is that or not. It's good for you, and it may be, if food sensitivity may be the reason why you have a lot of brain fog. So I know that if I eat, you know, gluten or yeast is a big one for me. If I eat gluten, wheat, or yeast, my stomach feels like it's going to explode. Like it literally may just unbutton my top button because I'm not going to be able to button my pants, right? It's that intense for me. And think about it. If that damage has been going on for 20 or 30 years, you need time to eliminate that so that your body can start healing and that you can go on the upswing, right? So back to the whole point of this thing. When you cut out a food and you are not seeing the results that you expected, this is not because you are failing at something. This is not because you're not good at it. This is not because that, you know, that's an indicator that that food wasn't the problem. It could be that the food wasn't a problem, but it could also be because there are additional foods that are a problem, and when all three of them are together, like let's say you have three of them, you knock out one, you still have two left that are causing you so much discomfort, right? You would have to take out all three for at least 2 weeks. A lot of people say 3 to 4 weeks, so that you can reset and heal, and then start putting a lot of good stuff in to really nourish yourself, heal that gut, and then you're going to start noticing huge transformations, huge shifts. So if that's something that you're really struggling with, know that it's not something that you're doing wrong. Know that, seriously, it's not something that you're doing wrong. It's just you may not have figured out all the pieces of the puzzle yet. And that's something that you'll really have to do to see maximum results, okay? So if that's something that you want to do, if you want to explore that come January, let me know, because there's still spots available for the Nourishment Blueprint program. And because I love you guys, if you want to start in January, I'm gifting you the month of December, okay? I'm gifting you time to work with me. I'm gifting you time to work on, sorry, I just like ate lunch. And then I ran to my kid's school, dropped off a paper that she needed to turn in, and came right back. So gifted you the opportunity to work with me all of December for free, basically, right? We're going to talk about mindset, put in a lot of nourishing foods for you. You can still eat the foods you love over the holidays, but either way, you'll start working with me now, but like the actual like program starts in January. So if that's something that you want to do, you have to commit now so that I can get you your spot, hold your spot for you. But chat with me, see if this is the right program for you, okay? And there's no obligation, there's no pressure. Like if you've ever been on a call with me, you know this. Basically, my job in life is to help others on their health and wellness journey. So if that ends up where they're working with me, fantastic. If that means that they're, you know, maybe not ready for that, or they need some, you know, other kind of help, I'm going to shoot you in the right direction. I want you to get, you know, I want you to get onto your plan, right? I want you to get in the right direction for you, not for me, for you. So if there's anything that you need, let me know. It's nourishyourlife.org/apply. If you want to just skip that whole step and just get straight to my calendar, you fill out a little questionnaire so I can get a little information about you, kind of know what direction to take the call into, and then you get to my calendar, right? And you can just schedule your own. You just schedule it yourself. It's super easy. So anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will talk with you soon. Bye, guys.